Hello world, Geriatric Geek here. How in the heck are you? I hope you're doing great. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in North Las Vegas. It's the 11th of May, 2020. And yes, the old Geriatric Geek's going to be doing a review today of two movies that Warner Archive has sent to me to review and tell you about. The Hidden and The Mystery of the Wax Museum. This one I had not seen previously. This one I had, and I'm going to talk about both of them just for a few minutes. I really enjoyed actually both of them, but for different reasons. So we'll talk about those reasons real quick. So first, we have The Hidden. And thank you, Warner Archive, for sending these along, by the way. I do appreciate it, and I enjoyed watching both of these movies. The Hidden is an R-rated movie. It's 97 minutes and it's from 1987. This is already out and available on Amazon right now. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can pick this up for relatively inexpensive. Warner Archive put this out, of course. So this is a movie that it's done by Jack Shoulder directed this. I don't know if you remember who Jack Shoulder is, but he directed The Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and The Wishmaster Part 2. Didn't like The Wishmaster so much, but The Nightmare I really did like. But basically this thing starts really, it's kind of a two-parter. I mean, there's really good car chase scenes in this movie, and then all of a sudden it becomes an alien flick. It's like car scene, alien flick. Amazing. So to me it's like a sci-fi horror and a tongue-in-cheek comedy. It really is. Sometimes you just don't get the humor until you really watch it and pay attention, but believe me, it is a tongue-in-cheek comedy. Very the creature is pretty amazing. I have to say that. I don't want to give anything away. But the alien is the transfer thing. It has to go from host to host, and how that happens is kind of creepy. I liked it. I really enjoyed the chase scenes also. So if you're into sci-fi horror comedy, this is classic 80s classic. As far as I'm concerned, it all starts out with a car chase in a Ferrari, of course, and then it really has good special effects, in my opinion. Let me read something. Hideous is changing law-abiding citizens into monstrous, hyper-violent psychopaths. Now, only Kyle MacLachlan from Dune and Twin Peaks and Michael Nouri from Flashdance can halt the terrifying rampage of the Hidden. A series of bizarre, inexplicable robberies and murders have LA Police Detective Tom Beck, who's Nouri, totally baffled, and it doesn't help when mysterious FBI agent Lloyd Gallagher, MacLachlan, tells him that a demonic extraterrestrial creature is invading the bodies of innocent victims and transforming them to inhuman killers with an unearthly fondness for heavy metal music, red Ferraris, and unspeakable violence. It's spine-chilling, high-velocity sci-fi thriller from the makers of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Here's the back. It is very fast-paced. I enjoy that part. Keeps your interest. Keeps you kind of saying, what the heck's going to happen next, kind of thing. And of course, toward the end of the show, one of my favorite people gets to make a cameo. That's right, Danny Trejo's in here. He's on for about 5 or 6 words, and then you can see what happens with him. So, really, I do recommend. This is a good one-time watcher. I definitely recommend you check this out. If you haven't seen it, good chase scene, kind of an alien thing. Excellent chase scene, like I said, and great special effects. And let's see, they have a commentary by the director Jack Shoulder and Tim Hunter on here. I think it's pretty good. Definitely a good one-time watcher. Sit down, turn your brain off, and have a good time, right? That's what it's all about. Next up, we have The Mystery of the Wax Museum. Mystery of the Wax Museum, that's right. This is from 1933, guys. It was originally done in Technicolor. One of the last movies I do believe done in Technicolor. And it was done pre-code, which means that the rating system hadn't taken effect yet. So there is some kind of spicy language in here, especially from the Glenda Farrell, who plays the fast-talking reporter. And so, real quick, this is basically set in 1921 in London, and you have a wax sculptor who's doing all this amazing work, and you'll see some of the wax sculptors on some of the oh, this is kind of cool. Some of the close-ups, you can actually see the it's not, because the lights were so bright, they would melt the wax sculptors, so they used humans instead of wax in a lot of the close-ups. And you can actually see the people blink, or they're supposed to be very, very still, but you can tell that they're moving. And it's kind of cool to look for, and certainly it's there. So basically, London, fire destroys all this guy's life's work, right? So he then, because of this, he moves all his stuff. He goes to New York. It's now 1933, and he's back in business. Except there's a little something different. All of his models are of the dead variety. I won't say anything more beyond that because you have to see the movie. But pretty interesting, pretty cool. Fay Wray, of course, is in here, and Lionel Atwell. I love the way Lionel Atwell. He's a great old-timer actor. Fay Wray, of course, she's a great screamer. Glenda Farrell, she's the fast-talking reporter. She's one that kind of almost cracks the case in this movie. So anyway, it's very atmospheric. So Fay Wray, she kind of looks like she looks like who is it? Oh, Marie Antoinette. And so that was one of his old wax creations, was Marie. And because Fay Wray looks so much like this, he wants to use her as his model. Not good. So he becomes obsessed with her, and basically it's a story of what happens between him setting up shop in New York and the very end, which ends much too quickly for me. This movie's only, let's see, 78 minutes long, not rated, and of course, like I said, it was done in Technicolor. But the cool thing about this movie, guys, the reason I suggest, the biggest reason I mean, it's a good movie, yeah, don't get me wrong, I've watched it a couple, 3 times now, 2 times prior to seeing this restoration. That's right, this is a restoration done by the UCLA Film and Television Archive, and the funding is done by George Lucas, his family's foundation. So they did an amazing job. I mean, in the original, you can see all the little timing cues and the scratches and digs in the emulsion, and I mean, you can see that was an old flick. They took all of that stuff out and they cleared it up. It is beautiful, really is beautiful for a Technicolor film. And if for that alone, I suggest watching this, and the trailer where they do a comparison of the old one to the new one. It's really a good little feature on here. So let me show you the back. You can read for yourself. Like I said, Lionel Atwell does a really good job as the mad genius. His name is Dr. Igor. He's the mad sculptor. Love the atmosphere. Really sets the tone for this. And the set designs amazing. And I understand even the set design was used from some of the original director's movies. It's directed by Michael Curtiz, who also did Casablanca, as I recall. So there you go. So if you haven't seen this, certainly watch it for the movie and the restoration. Amazing. Warner Archive, you guys got a hold of a gem here, really did. I cannot talk enough about how good the restoration is on this. So that's it, you guys. I'd definitely give this a 2 thumbs up. Certainly going on my shelf. It's not really grisly and a chiller like it says, but I mean, I've seen some pretty scary stuff. This is not really scary, but for back in 1933, I guess it would be. Check them out, guys. Really, check them out. Certainly, Wax Museum is a beautiful film, beautifully restored. The Hidden, just a really good chase and 1980s sci-fi comedy thriller, I guess. Both of them really good. Warner Archive, thank you for sending those along. I do appreciate you doing that for me, and really good stuff. You know, I was happy to watch both of these. So that I'm going to give them a 2 thumbs up. And if you like this video, I want to see more reviews by the old Geriatric Geek, try not to do too much. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I do want to get to 1,000 people before the old geek, you know, has to stop doing this stuff. Anyway, from North Las Vegas, you guys keep smiling, keep having fun. Peace.